Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for this brand new series that we are starting. We are starting a TLDR series, which are just shorter videos of the usual videos I put out, but this one will be able to be a lot quicker and I'll be able to not have to do all the extra things real quick, so you guys can get these ones out pretty quickly, and then we'll link the corresponding super long video where I go more in depth and all of that loveliness. And thank you so much. Today we're going to be talking about Red Dragon. Red Dragon was written by Thomas Harris and published in 1981, and this was the first introduction to the pop culture icon Hannibal Lecter. The main story uses dual POVs following Will Graham and the serial killer they call the Tooth Fairy, whose name is Francis Dollarhide. And to help to find the Tooth Fairy, John Crawford, who is the head of the Behavioral Sciences Unit at the FBI, brought in Will Graham. And Will Graham's backstory is he was an investigator working with the FBI on previous cases, and he's the one who was working with Hannibal Lecter to find the serial killer in that area, who turned out to be Hannibal Lecter, and he's actually the one who brought in and arrested Hannibal Lecter, brought him into justice, and which is why Hannibal Lecter's caught up. He was forced to retire after that confrontation with Hannibal Lecter because he was horribly disfigured and injured. So he retired, moved to a coastal area, I think Florida, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure it's Florida, with his wife and her son. So he's there, he's like, yep, cool, I'm retired. John Crawford brought him back in to try and find the Tooth Fairy so they can find out who this guy is before he kills more families, because that's his MO. And so Graham and Crawford use detective work, they use Graham's unique perspective and all of these like little threads. Most of it is detective work. Graham talks to Hannibal Lecter in the mental hospital that he's in to try and get back into his old groove. And so they're trying to find the Tooth Fairy that way. And on the Tooth Fairy side, it's going through his reactions, his motivations on why he's killing. He believes he has an entity in him called the Red Dragon, which is named after a William Blake painting. So it goes through his whole backstory and everything, which is very fascinating. And so he explains why he's killing the way he does. And then he meets a coworker called Reba, who is blind, and as such, she can't see his disfigurement. So he finds it actually easier to talk to her. She's super interested in him. They start dating, and when they're dating, Francis is like, I don't want to kill anymore because I have Reba. I want to be happy with Reba. So he tries to kill the Red Dragon, and then in his mind he's like, all right, cool, I killed it, and if I didn't, I have my next victim family picked out to keep Reba safe so he doesn't have to hurt her. And while he's very satisfied with himself, he's like, all right, I'm going to do this for Reba and us. He also, the last time he saw her, like broke up with her and was yelling at her a lot to try and create some distance before he decided that he was going to try and be happy with them. And so he's going to try and go back, apologize, start their relationship back up. He goes back to work where they both work, and sees William Graham there and John Crawford. So he puts into place a plan to deceive the FBI and make them think that he's dead, which involves Reba. He plants a whole body, everything, shoots it in the head, and Reba, because she's blind, she can't see him there and can't see that's not him. So she thinks that he shot himself to protect her. And she leaves his house because he had kidnapped her. And then when she's a safe distance away, he blows up the whole house. Like full on Michael Bay blow up scene of this house. William Graham and John Crawford, they find her. They ask her what's going on. And she's like, no, this was for realsies, Francis, he's dead. So they're like, okay, he's dead. They run the dental records of the dentures in the mouth of the body that's inside the house. They're like, all right, yep, all of this matches up. That was the Tooth Fairy. We caught him. Congratulations, everybody. So Graham goes back to his family where he's retired, and they're meeting back up. They're like, all right, this is the last time I'm working on a case. Let's just be together. Let's go fishing. Let's go to the beach. And towards the end of the night, Francis Dollarhide shows up and attacks Graham and stabs him a few times. And while he's stabbing him, Graham's wife comes up to him and starts beating at him with a fishing pole that they used earlier that day to fish. And the hook in the fishing pole gets caught in Francis's face, starts pulling at him, so he's fighting. Graham's trying to fight him off, but he's losing a lot of blood. And then he looks at his wife and tells her, just run. Just run. So she runs into the house where her son is. Francis pushes Graham down, runs after her, but she's able to get in there early enough to get a weapon, and she shoots him, and then he's dead. Graham is in a hospital when the book ends, and it is super depressing at the end. John Graham is like, all right, or not, William Graham is like, he's like, my wife is gonna leave me. Like, she can't even look at him because of how horribly disfigured he is. She can't deal with him doing these type of cases to where he's put in harm continuously. I mean, the last 2 cases he was just horribly attacked. So she's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But she doesn't say that to him while he's in the hospital bed. John Crawford is like, well, we closed another case. And he intercepts a letter from Hannibal Lecter, because Hannibal Lecter was corresponding with Francis Dollarhide for a good chunk of the book, like about half of the book. He was corresponding with him, and that's how you knew where Graham lived. And Lecter was telling the Tooth Fairy to kill Graham and his family. So they were corresponding. Lecter sends a letter to William Graham, and Crawford intercepts it, reads it, destroys it. So Graham never understands what happened, what was going on. And he's just like, I just need a drink. I just need a drink. So the book ends with him depressingly becoming an alcoholic, or at least thinking about it becoming an alcoholic. His wife planning on leaving him, and John Crawford patting himself on the back for catching the Tooth Fairy, which he brought Graham into to catch. And just kind of leaves him there. And I was like, dude, Crawford's kind of a dick. But that was a brief synopsis of Red Dragon. It was really great. The book is way more depressing than the movie. The movie is absolutely fantastic. It was, a lot of the scenes were shot for shot what is in the book. And it's one of my favorite movies, but not my top tier. Like, I do like Silence of the Lambs a lot more, but I really enjoyed the movie, and I'm really happy that I finally read the book. I rated the book a 5 out of 5 stars, and I think that it is a definite totes for people to read. From me, a totes for me. And if you want a more in-depth review, I'll link the video up on the screen somewhere, or down in the description below, probably both places. You can go to a more in-depth thing of what happens in the books. Obviously, I cut out a lot, so we can keep this video short. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, afternoon, whatever it is where you are, and I will see you guys later. Bye.